I'm Christine O'Neill, and I am the program manager here at Eastport Elementary School. As Shannon said, Eastport Elementary is a year 4 community school, but I am a first year program manager. And we've had a lot of transition in our first 4 years as being a community school. And looking at our graphic, we really wanted to highlight some of the successes of existing programs we had, as well as shine a light on some of the new programs that we've started this year. And as coming in, one of my goals was to ensure that community schools was just part of the identity of our school, and that it wasn't something that was separate. I come from a background of being a teacher, so that was my first view of how can I find a way to come in, join the school, and then start to weave community schools into everything we do. So looking at our graphic, starting with academic enrichment and attendance, that of course attendance has been brought up by pretty much everyone else, because that is a huge area of focus for the entire cluster, and we are very proud of our results with the programs we put in place this year at Eastport Elementary. In our SIP plan, our overall goal was, I believe, for 3.2 increase in the or decrease in the number of students who are chronically absent. And right now we are looking at a 10% decrease in the number of students that are chronically absent. And we have really made a concerted effort as an entire school to change even how we approach the kids when they are greeted when they arrive late. We've adopted this mindset of, hey, we're just happy we're here, that you are here, and doesn't matter if you're late or what you're wearing or any of those things. We're just so happy that you're here, and how can we make that easier for you to do each and every day. We do a lot of incentives and a lot of pop-up incentives, where if you're here that day, you get to participate in this fun thing or have this surprise waiting for you simply because you were here with us. We also, I know Amy had talked about, or another school had talked about, Nahima with the basketball game. We just had our staff versus attendance winners soccer game. Players announced for our big game tomorrow. So we're doing a lot of things, including mentorships, that are really making connections with kids and getting them to want to come to school. Each and every staff member has at least one student that is their student of focus, that they make sure that they are checking in with regularly, and just having breakfast or meeting for lunch and connecting, and really trying to build those relationships, and also provide us some one-on-one opportunities to find out what our families need and what kids need in order to get them here. Also in that category, we have our academic enrichment, and we had a history at Eastport of a very robust academic enrichment program. And so we are very proud to say that we had offered over 24 clubs this year. Actually, there's going to be a 25th at the end of the year, because the 5th grade girls have asked to have a club to, as their gift to the school, they want to fix up the bathroom. They don't feel that the girls' bathroom is pretty enough. And so we are going to host one last session so that they can leave that behind as they move on to Annapolis Middle School. But we did have 478 plus seats. I said plus because we were adding kids to our baseball team as we were submitting these numbers for our slides. So we're really proud of the number of students that are in our after school and enrichment programs, because our families have indicated in our surveys, both in 2023 and again this year in 2024, that aftercare is an issue. And this is one way that we can provide that while simultaneously supporting our kids in and exposing them to different areas of interest that they don't necessarily get to participate in during the school day. Moving on to our 2+ generational supports. Looking at our KRA data this year, it was plain to see that in the overall score that 35%, only 35% of our students were scoring in a way that indicated they were ready for kindergarten. So we made sure that each and every month we had some sort of programming that was pre-K specific. And we were very intentional with that. As I said earlier, coming from this educational lens, from the get-go, I sat down with our Title I team and we planned the year out, all of our events together. How could they overlap, and how could we offer support for all four pillars in each and every event when possible? So we made sure that each and every month we had at least one pre-K specific kindergarten readiness events, and they included bilingual story times, a pre-K night for parents, where we went over bedtime routines, accessing the Chromebook, things like that, just so that our pre-K families early in the year had that support. One of my favorite early childhood events that we did this year was a partnership with Annapolis High School signature program, where students from the high school came and visited us for a morning of reading and arts and crafts, and an indoor snowball fight, because it was it was an indoor snow day with during January. And they came and met with our pre-K for the morning and our kindergarten students as well. And it was really fun. And it was great because a few of the students who participated in that morning were actually graduates of Eastport Elementary. So that was really great for the kids and for their former teachers to get to see them come back and engage with our smallest skipjacks in this way. Moving on to our wellness and physical health, we had over 1,754 meals or packages given out to our families throughout the year. That includes our weekly backpack buddies, as well as care packages that we distribute at our family events. As I stated earlier, we really try to, when we host a family event, whether it is initiated by community schools or Title I, we try to bring in as many resources and hit as many pillars as we can at the same time. So each and every time that we host an event, we would try to bring in food care packages for our families. And so one of our partners that has been terrific for some of our physical health support is Caring Cupboard. And they often bring bags of pantry items to distribute to our families. They also have been a wonderful support. We hosted a girls' night out, we call it. And that is a partnership with our counseling department and our school nurse, so the Department of Health. And we invited schools from around the Annapolis area, and we presented to our families. It was really about changes in girls' bodies, and kits were provided to take home that night with supplies they would need should they start menstruation. And it was really great that night. One of my acute takeaways, when the families were arriving and the girls were excited and they were nervous, and some came with friends, and it was girls from all different schools. But I was buying supplies that night, or that morning, and I was mentioning to my friend at the Giant that I went to, because she knew whenever I had an event in the mornings that we were doing this event. And she said, what a great event, because my son is a single dad and he would need an event like this, because to talk to his daughter of these changes. And well, I'm so glad you're doing this. And I went about my day, and sure enough, that evening, one little girl showed up with her dad. And it just really, it was great to see him there engaging with her, but also to know that for her, she was so happy to be surrounded by other girls learning about this next phase of her life and having this support. So I honestly hadn't considered that. It was that lady at the Giant that pointed out that this was a great support for that single dad who was raising a girl who was entering her tween years. The last pillar that I wanted to talk about was, and I put a lot of data because I really feel that this was something I was most proud of as a first year community schools manager. And I think it is critical for the success of the program as a whole. And for our social, emotional, behavioral health, we did a survey of our own at Eastport Elementary around mid-year. And as a new program manager, I just wanted to check in with our parents and see how we were doing. How was I doing? Was what we were putting out helpful? Was the time slots? We try to make sure that we are providing our programming at times that work for our families. And so we sent out a short survey, and we also did a bunch of surveys with our fifth grade where we sat down one-on-one and we talked to the kids about what they saw happening around school, what they would like to see happening around school. We even asked them if they were principal for the day, what was the first thing they would change and why would they feel that that was an important change. But as a result of those conversations and surveys, this is what we found, that 81% of the parents who responded to the survey expressed that they felt strongly that they were cared for and respected at our school. 84% of the parents felt strongly that the school provides many different supports for students and families. And 85% of students shared that they felt heard, cared for, and supported at the school. And that to me was most important because that is the crux of community schools, right? We talk about a lot in community schools how change can only move at the speed of trust. And those numbers, while I'll be forever working to get those numbers to be 100%, I feel that that we have a good foundation here that we can continue to build our program, since our families know that we care about them. They have trust in us that we can support them, and they know that when they need the support, that we are here for them and we can help put them in contact with things they need if we don't have them here. And some of our partnerships that we've had, we have Seeds for Success. That's a great partner that provides one-on-one tutoring in both math and reading for 25 students. They also provide us with a volunteer grandparent, and she has been a wonderful addition to our school. She's doing a lot of one-on-one work with some of our ELD students each day, giving them additional support. Other people have mentioned STARE, which are where we have 7 second graders getting one-on-one reading support. Services from the Heart provide our backpack buddies, and 40 families receive food each weekend, thanks to Services from the Heart, as well as Holiday Help. Caring Cupboard, they've been a fabulous partner, as I've already referenced them, with our Girls Night Out, and also our pantry bags at the end of events. The public library has been one of our greatest partners as well. They've come to several events, and just with the programming they provide, they really supplement what we are able to offer in a fantastic way. The Annapolis Police Department is very involved with our school, helping us support family events. They just provided hot dogs at our recent resource fair. And they also, Officer Davis is one of our chess instructors for our chess club. Play Annapolis and the Annapolis Blues, which I don't have Annapolis Blues listed there, but they are great partners for us. Soccer is very popular at our school, but Play Annapolis has also supported our soccer team. They've provided opportunities for field hockey, for baseball teams for our kids, and put us in connection with the Annapolis Blues, who have also tied into our attendance incentives, in that they've given us 100 tickets for their home opener that we can use to incentivize our kids to come to school. They'll be given out to kids to reward them for their attendance during May. So we really try to have a lot of overlap with what we're offering and our partnerships. And if anyone has any questions.
Christine, that was great. Thank you so much for sharing the work of Eastport Elementary. I know the principal's on the screen if you just want to wave real quick. So many great, and the personal stories there are great. I will now always remember your visit to Giant in your interaction there. So awesome work happening at Eastport.